Hey guys, my name is Lucy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by Isabella. Woo! And we are in Dubai for Christmas, so we thought that we would take this opportunity to film some videos. We thought that we would film my kind of termly video where I chat to you guys about what I've learned in the term, how I feel I've grown, etc. And I thought it'd be good to get Isabella's opinion because if you guys didn't know, I'm on track C, which is the singer-actor track, and Isabella is on
track A, which is, I guess, like a little bit more divided between singing, dancing, and acting.
You guys normally enjoy this video, so if you do, please do smash a big thumbs up to let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more videos. There's going to be a lot of Isabella's face around in the near future. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're going to start off with singing. For me this term, I started to find my songs that kind of work for everything. Teachers always say to us, don't they? Oh, you'll find your 5 songs that work for everything. And we're like, are you sure? But to be honest, I have actually started to find a few songs that are like that for me, which is amazing. We have a class called Masterclass this term, which we'll probably talk a lot about in this video because it's a big thing in that term of 3rd year. The premise of Masterclass is you do like a mock audition every week and we get given a musical the week before that we have to come in and audition for. And I actually found I was quite pleasantly surprised that I had a lot of songs for the musicals that we were auditioning for. I know you felt kind of differently about that.
I literally probably found a song for every week. Like I needed to learn 1 or 2 songs. But that's just because as well, I didn't realize how many musicals you needed pop songs.
Yeah, so many. I know I've said to you guys before, like pop songs are what you need, but we really realized
and it's
that
not
this
just
time.
like, you're thinking pop songs you hear today, but most of them are 60s, 70s, 80s. Of course you know them. It was one of those things where at least they're easy to learn.
Yeah, and you kind of,
like,
once
know
you've got the melody, chorus, you're fine. Yeah.
The bridge. Since when did that song have a bridge? Yeah. And then you're literally there on Monday morning like la, 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 la.
And for you it was always the lyrics. Isabella finds lyrics impossible to learn.
It's so bad.
So that was a bit of a learning curve, I think. Also, I started to refocus on legit a bit this term, so pre-1965, because we did that at the beginning of 1st year and I haven't really gone near it since then. So I think a lot of us decided that was probably a good thing to focus on this term, and we did have a masterclass for 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, so that was legit, so we kind of had to work on that. But I mean, legit is your favorite, so
yeah, I was so excited. What I actually found for that week was because I was so excited for that week, it was actually not my worst week, but I gave myself so much pressure versus Hair, which is 70s rock. I was like, I'm not gonna do well. And I actually found that as my probably best week because I was like, you know what, I didn't care as much, and then I was just like, you know what, I got this. Yeah. Just one last thing I think I found myself for singing. We had 6 months of not being in the building, and I'm not saying I probably rested, but I probably found my voice a little bit more because I would get so scared in our London house singing because our whole street can hear us.
Honestly, especially your room's the worst.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone's coming home, they'll be like, oh, nice song. I could hear it 10 houses down the door. So like I would always get scared to experiment, but having that time home, I literally just belted on the top of my lungs and I was like, no one's gonna hear me from Malaysia. When I came back in 3rd year, I just kind of felt more settled in my voice.
Also, another thing that we did focus a lot on this term was 3rd year musical audition songs.
Yeah.
I think personally, I worried about it way too much. I was kind of
stressed in the beginning.
Because I was ill at the beginning of the term, remember? So then I was so stressed because everyone was getting their musical songs. Everyone was like, oh, I'm ready for a 3rd year musicals, and I'm thinking, I've not even sung anything. So I found that really stressful, but in hindsight, it was just like any other masterclass, but we all just put way too much pressure on it.
I was one of those people, definitely had my song since April, been singing it. So literally when the day came in, October, I was just like, let's get this done and over with.
We literally could not have been more opposite if we tried. So the next thing is dance. The main thing for this term for dance is specialism. So as a track C, I had to specialize in one style.
And unfortunately, I mean, most track A people would love to do 2, but I had to do 2, but I wanted to do 1.
Specialism is a lot. You basically learn a full syllabus for whatever style you choose. You can choose tap, jazz, ballet, street, or contemporary. And then you do your syllabus and you do a solo in that style.
And you have 1.5-hour classes twice a week for it.
Which is quite
a
intense,
lot.
yeah.
Because usually our classes are an hour, hour 15, but that extra 15 minutes, we felt it.
Yes, definitely. And I do feel like jazz syllabus, because everyone does the same no matter what track you're on. If you're on track D and you're a dancer, you do the same as a track C who's a singer-actor. It was definitely challenging. Isabella did street as well, was speak about jazz first because we both did it. I found jazz specialism challenging, but I did feel I did improve from it, definitely. And I managed to avoid doing a jazz solo for the whole of URDANG until third year.
I don't get how you've done that.
Because I just did tap.
Yeah, fair.
And then I didn't want to do tap specialism, so I had to do a jazz solo, which for me, the thought of that at the start of the term, I literally could have thrown up. I thought it was absolutely terrifying, but I did it. I survived. Hopefully I've passed. We haven't got our results yet as we're making this video.
Okay, so I think I probably would have found jazz harder, but because street was so hard, I was just like, you know what, jazz is so easy. And I feel it probably wasn't. I probably won't get the most amazing grade ever anyway, but street just took a turn. Basically, I knew I was gonna do jazz from the beginning, and then it was like, what is my other specialism? This is not my channel, you guys don't know my dance ability, but I'm just gonna say tap is out of the question, ballet's out of the question, so it was just down to contemporary and street. And I kind of just thought street you would be able to use more. I really want to be in Hamilton, so I was just like, would it be more beneficial to do contemporary or street? So
Sadly street.
I took it to the deep end, I just dove in and I did street. And I honestly, I told my teacher the first day, I'm not a street dancer, but I'm gonna give it my best. And I honestly really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, once I got it and I felt my body onto the swag and groove, onto the swag and groove, onto the swag and groove, I was so in it. It was just those weeks before that where I was like, ooh, I am not cool. Most of the people in my class wore track Ds, or the dance track, and they taught me so much about confidence. I was just standing next to them and I had to pretend I was a street dancer. And also it's one of those things where obviously you think it's hard, but you look at a commercial street routine and you're like, oh, you know what, it doesn't look that hard because it's steps everyone can do. But once you learn something and they teach it super fast, you just don't understand how clean and how precise and the dynamics of a street routine. It looks easy, but it's actually so hard. We had a groove exercise, an old hip hop one, you know, ooh, ah.
And then you had that chair solo.
Yeah, there was a chair solo, and then one had to do uncleanliness, so literally for every 5 seconds there was about 50 moves and it was like and you're like it was so different to jazz, and I think that really helped me as a dancer because as a whole it was literally all the skill sets I could possibly need.
And I think also the thing that we both and everyone struggled with, that it was no one's fault, is that some of it was online. Our classes were all timetabled in the building. Honestly, we have felt so grateful this term. URDANG have been insane.
Exactly. Like, it's crazy because obviously when we had classes online we're like, this is horrible, but in hindsight we had a 13-week schedule with 1 week in between, so 14 weeks, and 10 weeks were in the building and 3 weeks are online. And of course those 3 weeks online we're like, this is horrible,
we hate our lives.
But looking back, 3 weeks is nothing. We got 10 weeks, which is a lot more than a lot of drama schools could ever ask for. So
yeah, that's it for dance. I've learned a lot in dance this term, definitely, despite online learning. Also, we did tap and ballet throughout the term, but just once a week for me, twice a week for you? Once a week as well, because the main focus of this term is specialism, so there's not really much to say about them. So now on to acting. Acting this term was focusing on monologues because that is, in theory, what you need to audition for musicals.
It's one of those things, acting, you need to learn the skills, but once you're out in the real world, it's kind of like instinct type of thing.
One of the things that we found this term, which was really interesting, is that we had the exact same module, but it totally depends on what teachers you have. My teachers were really focused on just exploring and not really thinking about the assessment, just exploring characters, exploring our creativity. We did loads of work on improv, which was really good because that can be a huge thing in workshop auditions. And then the assessment kind of came right at the end, and it was more, let's just get the pieces near the time, keep them fresh, bish bash bosh, off we go. But you had a very different experience.
Yeah, it was weird because I felt like I was in tracksuit for a while. But basically we had 2 different teachers, but one of our teachers just wanted us to be focused on our assessments, and I completely respected it because she was just like, I'm more of a director, I want you to come with a new piece every single week, memorize, ready to go, and I'm gonna direct you. And for some people, because we never had that responsibility in 1st and 2nd year, it was a lot, oh my gosh, a 2-minute monologue in 1 week, I can't possibly learn that. When in masterclass we learned 2 songs in 1 week, and she would always say that, why can you learn 2 songs but you can't learn 1 monologue?
And she's so right. It's really good skill actually, because learning lines is training your brain.
Exactly. And also it gives us that discipline that we kind of need going into the professional world, because we only have rehearsals in a musical for 6 weeks and then we're supposed to go on. You're supposed to have everything memorized.
Acting for camera! Acting for camera! I had acting for camera this term. I completely forgot about that. It's actually something that they added into the syllabus for track C this year. It's not assessed or anything, but we basically just did different scripts every week, and we did commercials, we did TV, we did monologues for camera, and yeah, it was such a good class, and I'm so glad that we did have it. And finally, auditions. that has been a huge part of this term in many ways.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I think because they say that first and second year is your proper learning and third year is applying it. Obviously you do still learn stuff, but mainly you're applying. The main things that we had were third year musical auditions, which we've briefly spoken about, and we also had the opportunity to audition for a lot of casting directors, which
they've been incredible.
Amazing. And the fact that we have the opportunity to be seen by people in the industry, especially during what's going on in the world, is just insane. And I don't know about you, but for me it's made me a lot less scared about going to auditions in the future, because I'm like they've heard me sing. So for example, last week we got to sing in front of Cameron McIntosh's top 2 casting directors, which was insane.
Yeah, it was a good one.
And like the best opportunity ever, and we learned so much from them. I could talk for hours about how much we learned from them.
Yeah, that was such a good day.
And now it just makes me realise that probably they are 2 of the biggest casting directors in the industry.
And we've done it.
So yeah, that's really what I feel like I got from it. And also third year musical auditions were just a great opportunity to have another mock audition kind of thing. So I think that is everything. I hope that this video has helped you guys out. It's kind of nice to do a dump of everything you've learned and like remind yourself that you've learned stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos, because Isabella is in a lot more that are coming up. And hopefully we will see you very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!